Welcome back to another podcast with Brevin and Rendell. This is Our Perspective, and today we are looking at, is a small business worth starting? So you have more the technical small business than I guess I have my own little thing going, but you
I have a bigger small business.
You have a legit business.
I do, I guess, yeah.
You know, a logo, name, and that stuff.
And an employee, so.
Oh yeah, you do have an employee.
So yeah.
So yeah, let's talk about it. So what kind of made you start? Like what made you get into it?
All right. So I was painting. I painted for about 2 years for my boss. He lives like 3 minutes from my house.
Okay.
And the reason I even got started painting was one of my friends. I think I talked about it before, but if I remember right, one of my friends had worked for him, and he was quitting, didn't have a job, and I didn't have a job, and so he offered that to me, and he literally quit Friday, and the next Monday I started working for him.
Wow, nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
timing worked out great. So, back in June, or I guess a little further back in April, he told me that they were expecting their third child, and that they were going to quit the business in June.
Oh wow. Okay. So I didn't know about the child.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
So, he said that, and at the time we were working, I guess, I don't know if it's long hours or not, but it was like 12-hour days. It was like leaving at 6, getting back at 6, and when he has 3 kids under 5, something like that.
And
so,
he's managing everything.
Yep.
Yeah, that's, okay.
Yep.
Yep.
And he does his own paperwork. He didn't have like an assistant or anything, so it was like Saturday mornings, he would do all the paperwork. It was pretty rough.
Yeah.
So basically, he ended up quitting, and I went to Weaver Barnes.
No.
Went to Berlin Gardens.
Berlin Gardens, yeah.
But so he went there, and he went into purchasing. So something completely different. Had not done it before. He said he liked it, though.
Cool.
So,
Yeah.
And he was home by like 4:30 instead of, 6. So the hours are better. Anyway, so that left me not sure what to do.
Yep.
And so my sister Karina already owns a business.
Yep.
She's a photographer. So, I don't know. She really pushed me to start a business. Like, she was one of the main ones, because I didn't want to relearn something for like 6 months to a year, because learning painting was awful. Like, honestly, it was tough.
Yeah.
Because my boss was also really picky, and which is good. I'm definitely glad for that.
For sure.
Rather that way than, not be picky enough and just kind of speeding through it. But, he was fairly picky, but I got trained in about a year in, and then the last year was when me, him, and his brother, we had a 3-man crew, and we kind of just went after it.
Yeah.
And I guess we made Travis good money, my old boss.
Yep.
But
well, now you know that because
I do know that, yes. Which is, I didn't realize back then, but I was making him a lot of money, which is good. I mean, he had done it for 15 years, so.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, so looked around at other jobs. I actually looked at Weaver Barnes a little bit. I don't know if I told you that, but
No.
Just a little bit. And my dad wanted me to go to Weaver Furniture.
Yeah.
He manages there, and I didn't really want to. I'm not a factory worker. That's not me.
Yep.
But when it came down to it, I had about 3 weeks worth of work, and most of it was from church, actually. Church people helped me out quite a bit, and so Karina was pretty much like, you know what, go for it.
Yeah.
And Dad also said that, he had my back and everything in case, things were to fall through. He'd have a job for me at Weaver Furniture.
Yep.
So it was pretty nice, pretty ideal situation to start anyway.
Absolutely.
So I guess fast forward, it's going well.
Yeah.
The challenges I thought going in, and this is something I had written down.
Yeah. That's what I was going to ask you about next. Was like, what are the challenges?
Yeah. So it's kind of funny. I wrote this down because I've heard it before. I've heard people say I wanted to stop working, so I became my own boss, and now I work 24/7.
Yep.
So that is true,
Yep.
for sure. You are texting, clients and customers, day in, day out, whether it's 7 in the morning or 7 at night, doesn't matter.
You're always.
Yep. And you're always thinking about it like, oh, okay. So for me, one of the biggest challenges for me is I'm still on my own. So, and every job is different. So because I'm not in the new construction field. So it's a lot of remodels, and judging time was one of the probably one of the hardest things for me, because it's hard to give estimates too, because I did everything by time and materials. So hourly I could charge hourly, and most people were fine, but there were a couple people that were like, well, we need an estimate because they had a budget and stuff like that. And I was like, I did lose a little bit of money over that, because I had to give them something, and it ended up being, I was there maybe for like a week, and I maybe made $200.
Yeah.
And then there were others that I don't know. I guess you win some, you lose some.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But I'm getting better at that. Like trying to figure out, how long it takes me to do stuff. Having an employee helped. Hired Bryson. He might be listening. Shout out Bryson if you're listening. But he had worked for a year already for another painter, and so didn't have to train him in, which was super nice. Because I don't know if I'm in the spot. I mean, I'm 19, and I don't know if I'm in the position to start training someone in, especially if they're, most likely they would be older than me, or, you know what I mean? I don't know. So, but so that helped me a lot. And I had some things written down.
Go through them a little bit. Yep.
So flexibility was a big thing, which is why I wanted to start, because I love to travel, as you guys know.
Yep.
And I don't know, Karina travels a lot too, my sister. And just seeing her being able to be gone, throughout the week. Literally, she could fly. I remember she flew to Colorado a couple times, and she just flies here and there, and she had the flexibility. Yeah. And I was like, I kind of want that.
Yeah. And it's not that they don't, I think that's a very big misconception, is like, oh, they're just flying all over the place. It's not that you're working less. It's just when do you pick to work?
Yeah. Yeah.
Pretty much.
And also, I guess it helped that she was, working while she was flying, because she's a photographer. So she would fly most of them for weddings, or, she didn't do a lot of, strictly vacation stuff. But, I was able to pretty much double the money that I was making before that. Yep. So that was pretty nice. My bank account was okay with that. But, and it wasn't that I got paid, too little, I don't think. Yeah. It was a good wage.
So in your opinion, to me it would be, and it probably depends on personality, but is that pay difference worth the headache? Because the one thing that, I'm wired to be more of an entrepreneur, or like I got to do something. I can't just, to me, it's not necessarily even the money I make, but I need to know there's something more. And I work in sales now, which is nice, because at any moment in the door could walk through, this guy could, spend millions, or, whatever. It could be your biggest customer tomorrow or the next minute. So that's what's fun. But even then, it's still I know that there's kind of a ceiling. I'll sell probably this much, and I'll make around this much as max. Yeah. So for me, that's something that I would always want to be in, is a business like this or something. But is that difference worth it, in your opinion? For you.
For sure, for me.
Okay.
I'm also one of those things, or I guess I'm one of those people that looks at, I guess, I don't know how you want to say it, stress, and I guess if you would call it anxiety, or whatever you want to call it. I'm more the person that just suck it up. I mean, it comes with a lot of stuff. Yeah. So I'm definitely more of the type of person that if you have hard times with stuff, yes, it's not gonna be fun. Yeah. Right. But one, it won't last forever, and two, I guess.
By the way, shout out to heaven.
I was just ready to say that. I was literally, one of the things that, can we give a shout out? Jesus right now. Yeah. Can we shout out Jesus?
Shout out to Jesus. The older people are going to cringe.
Oh, no, they might love that. No, I was just ready to say, that is one thing that, there were, very serious times where I did not have work lined up for the next week. And I was I literally remember, praying and being I literally don't have a choice. Yeah. This, I don't know, I'm tearing up a little bit. I'm getting a little emotional. I don't normally do this, but I don't know. It actually wasn't that long ago. I just had nothing, and I didn't have any leads, because I don't have a contractor that I worked with either.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know. It was a very I didn't know what was going to happen.
Yeah.
And I remember, I'm not kidding, on the way home from one of my last jobs, I literally prayed. I was like, God, if you want me to do more work in painting, you're going to have to give it to me because I don't know where it's going to come from.
Yep.
And sure enough, I think the next day or two, I got 2 more jobs, and one of them was like 3 weeks worth of work.
Wow.
And if that's not an
pretty
answer to
awesome.
prayer, I mean, my goodness. And that's
awesome.
happened, like, it's something I honestly do forget sometimes. I need to, just remember that I have to, first of all, thank him for the work that he's given me
Absolutely.
and the opportunity I have, and then ask him for whatever he has in store. If it's more business, then great.
Yeah.
If not, and I go a different direction, hey, that's fine.
Absolutely.
But I think, I'm kind of figuring out how to trust him in my business, and well, that's pretty much me. So
yeah. Nice.
go for it, Brevin.
Go for it. Well, I don't have as much of a business like you do. But
Yeah.
I do, as if you guys probably know if you listen to the introduction. I think it was, in the intro. I'm into real estate, so I started when I was 18 with my first property. I don't want to make it sound like I have all these real estate. I'm not one of them weird scammy people.
Listen, if you just give me $10,000, I will make your
Yeah.
dreams come true.
Yeah, no, 30 grand a month, easy.
Yeah.
No, so no, I'm just starting. I'm still young, obviously, but yeah, no, I did. I bought a property and just kind of worked on it. I didn't really do anything crazy. Fairly handy, so I did a lot of work on them. But as far as how I built my business was more just thank you, John Yoder. If you're watching this, probably not, but if you are, he helped me out so much, that mentor figure. So he does a lot of rentals, a lot cheaper rentals, so older houses, fixes them up, does really well with them. But they do require a lot more maintenance. The people tend to be a little bit more work. And so he does that. And I thought, you know what, I'm gonna learn from him, just kind of ask him a little bit. And so I bought my first house on an online auction, never saw it. Thankfully, he had seen it, and so he actually made an offer before, and it was more than what I bought it for.
Oh, well.
It was bank owned, if that tells you anything. But yeah, he offered not quite double, but close, and
You got it.
I got it. I'm like, sure. I still remember that to this day. I was still working in the factory at Weaver Barnes in the shop. Walk up to my dad's office. I'm like, hey, can I use your computer for like 30 minutes? And so I bought a house. Very cheap. So I put a lot of work into it. I actually put more money into the work than the house, if that tells you anything about how cheap it was. But so I started that, bought a few other houses, just really cheap houses. Did that. And as of today, the last one in that area I am selling. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Applause for Brevin.
Yeah, let's go. So, so what I did is I kind of pivoted a little bit. So I actually got into a partnership with my buddy Chris, both of our friends, but bought a trailer park with him. So I bought.
In the hood.
Yeah, it's not the greatest. It's definitely not like not a high class neighborhood. But yeah, we thought, well,
people live
we'll
there?
try that. So yeah, people do live there. We've had some interesting stories with that. I probably won't get into that.
Yeah, I don't even know if I know him.
Yeah, we've been on Fox News before. Not like national, but regional. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'll send you the article.
Okay. Yeah.
Maybe I won't.
Yes, sir.
So anyway, no. So we own that. I don't want to make it sound like it's a complete. Yeah, it's okay. It's just, maybe not Sugar Creek, Ohio.
Yeah.
Where we live, but no. So we own that, and then also I bought a house fairly local here, a lot more expensive market, but something that holds its value. And I mean, I could sell that now and make pretty good money on it. So glad I made that investment. Probably going to end up moving there eventually. Probably here in a couple years.
Yeah, really good location, good
Yeah,
starter house.
Really
for sure.
small.
Yep.
But
We all helped out with that one.
Yeah,
That was
yeah,
fun.
we-
That was a
yep.
fun one.
So, I'm pretty excited about that one. I'm actually going to be ending up, as of now, Airbnb-ing that house. So I really want to move in. It's just I about can't make it work number-wise. Like, man, I about have to just do it. So I'm going to try to Airbnb that. That's where it gets interesting. So me and Chris are now currently trying to sell the trailer parks. We're about there. Got a few offers. We're working on it. We actually went and bought land down fairly close here, about 20 minutes away, not even quite, probably 15. and we are actually going to be building a triplex there. At least we're maybe slightly bigger, but probably a triplex. And so I'm kind of, I guess, long story short, I don't really have that much real estate. I'm not like this big time player in it. I'm just starting, but I think for me the most important thing was just starting. Like just start it. Buying that house was so hard to start because I was always so hesitant with decisions, and I'm like, no, like I don't want to be like that. So I probably purposely went in the other ditch. I'm like, I'm just gonna do it.
That's probably what kickstarted your actual
absolutely.
change.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. So I did it, and I'm like, oh, that wasn't that bad. It's kind of fun actually. And then I just started doing
It's kind of fun spending money.
So actually, the next two properties that I bought were within a month. I closed.
Oh wow.
And just things were, bank accounts just moving and like transfer this, and I mean things were just going for it. And I kind of love it. But yeah anyway, it's kind of stressful, but I love it.
Yeah, Brevin loves a lot of things moving at once. He's
a little chaotic, but I kind of like it.
Yep.
A little bit. But so anyway, so I'm kind of moving directions, and I don't know what that all looks like. I was actually telling Rendell before we shot this a little bit about what I'd like to do with that. I'd really, really like to get to the point where that would be self-sustaining and that I could actually live off of that. Not necessarily that I quit my job right away. I'd like to be able to. So whatever that means.
I guess it comes down to flexibility again. You know what I mean? Like having your money work for you. Yeah, that'd be sweet.
So that's something that I'd be interested in. Is flexibility and kind of what I asked you about is it worth it, the stress and that type of thing. And for me,
Brevin,
for me, yeah,
is it worth it?
Is it worth it? Well, I think it is.
Yeah.
I'm just not the type to where I could work and just like have no ceiling or like have a ceiling. Sorry.
Yeah.
And I don't. Maybe it's probably just a mindset thing. Like if I could go work somewhere and I know the ceiling was making $1 million a year, that would
Yeah, for sure.
I'd probably work there.
Yeah, for sure.
But even then, I don't know. Like I would probably, but then there's that small part of me that's like, well, I want to do it on my own, and I don't know if that's I don't know if that's good or bad. But I'm that type where it's like I still have that drive. I want to do something on my own. So I'm. Kind of the angle I'm taking as far as starting a business, and I don't know what that looks like in the future. I don't know. It could be completely different in a year, but probably a little bit more slowly into it. I'm not going to go into a trade right away. I'd probably, I don't really know if I have any skills to be
He can
jump
paint.
Into some right now. I could paint.
He could work for me.
I would work for you.
That would be fun. We would
have a lot of fun.
Yeah, we would.
And that's actually something I thought of. It was like I could realistically, if I just put all my eggs in one basket, I could probably, do enough Airbnb or do enough cabin or rentals or something to probably just squeeze by to live. Yeah. Here in the next couple of years, I could probably get there. I'm talking like no vacation, just barely making it.
Yeah.
But then I could work part-time for you or something, have a steady income, have a little bit, and then be able to pursue what I want. So, for me, I think starting a business, it does come with that little bit of chaos. But like I said, I kind of like it. I probably need someone in my life to actually like take care of that type of this is a fun fact about me. Mundane tasks that you have to do every day that are like the same thing.
Hate them.
I am so bad. I am so like I've never met anyone that's worse than me at that. I'm so bad at it.
So why is that?
I don't know. It drives me nuts.
I don't even know if I
could.
Well, I guess I don't know. There's something I can think of anyway that is so simple like that. And I don't know if Mom's listening, but I'm sorry, Mom. But it is simple as we've talked about this before.
Yeah.
Putting our laundry away.
Yeah, I can't do it.
Well, it takes 30 seconds to a minute.
Not even. We have a laundry chute.
Oh, that's right. We don't even have that. Yeah.
No, I just can't. Yeah. I don't know why. They have to. Mom always reminds me, and she's tried. I feel bad, but she's just like, And by the way, thank you that I don't have to do laundry.
Yeah, I was gonna say we used to. My mom used
I
to.
feel like
make
I'm way
us-
too old to do
No,
that, but yeah, anyway.
I mean, I don't know. That's probably fair. I mean, I don't know. My mom,
I'll take it.
mom always used to make us do our own laundry. So I used to do mine and my dad's laundry. And then I think once I got a job, that kind of slowly faded away. But
Nice.
I just thought of something else though, is that my dad always used to say, going back to like your big goals and what that entails. He always used to say is, I mean, I don't know, not cliche, but it's just an interesting quote that he always said was, dream big because your God is bigger. And that, I don't know, I just like it.
Yeah,
Like-
absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's something where I grew up, and like I would watch a lot of YouTube videos, a ton.
I still do.
That's how I learn things.
We don't watch movies, we watch
No, literally.
YouTube. Yeah.
YouTube. We don't read books.
No.
Or I don't know about you, but I don't read books. I probably should.
I used to, I don't anymore.
Yeah. But anyway, I used to watch all the time, like guys like Mark Cuban and I don't know, all those rich guys, Kevin O'Leary, all that stuff. And I was always telling myself as a kid, like I'm gonna do it. Like enough of this small-minded thing. I'm gonna have a big mindset. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna at least give it a run. And all those guys, the one thing they had in common, and this is one thing that I realize is that there's so many people that watch those people. Okay, they consume all this content, and they don't get anywhere.
Yeah.
And I finally was like, okay, what do these guys have in common? Like, why are they the way they are? And one thing that they don't do is watch other people and consume all that content. And so finally, I think I was about 18 when I bought the house. Like, enough of this. I'm not watching that anymore. Like, I now have a big enough. One thing it did teach me was a big enough mindset. So anything that I go into, I want to have a big enough mindset to, take it on and not just think small.
Yeah.
Not that you don't want to be happy with small or content with whatever, but I just thought that was really interesting as far as business goes. Is like that's what hinders so many people. Like for me, some people my age are just like, how many houses did you buy? And I mean, granted, they are very cheap, but like they're just shocked, and I'm just like, well, I feel like I'm behind. And I think that's so big. Mindset is big, and that's a great quote. But yeah, as far as kind of wrapping up, kind of how I feel about business, I would love to start a business. I'd love to start something. I don't know how that looks. Is that real estate? One thing I like about real estate is you can continue your normal job and kind of do it on the side to start, at least. Eventually, I'd have to take over, but yeah, I would absolutely love it. I think, to me, I think my personality, your personality, I think it's worth it. I know some people, for example, there's a guy in the shop at Weaver Barnes. I know him fairly well, decent. And he is just the most content person I've ever met. And he does the most mundane thing. I actually used to do his job. And I actually didn't mind it for some reason. But that was, I don't know, that was kind of an eye-opener to me. I'm like, after all this, after everything, am I actually happy? And I actually just thought of that this week, is starting business, entrepreneur, making money and all that stuff. That's great. But at the end of the day, like, this might sound stupid, but like making your bed after you wake up, making your bed clean, like having everything clean all the time, have laundry, everything clean. Like, that would actually probably make a substantial difference in how happy I'd be. Like, it'd clear your thoughts.
I was going to say, it wouldn't be on your mind whenever you're like, oh.
Like, so many people, and I need to start doing this, but like they'll pick out their clothes the night before.
Oh, yeah.
It's one less decision they make in the morning. Like, that's brilliant. I should do that. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I'm like, I'm stressed about it at night, especially for church. We got a match and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, I'll figure it out in the morning. Well, then I'm sitting there and I'm figuring out for 5 minutes, like, oh my goodness, this color, and I finally figured it out. But those are, so I guess that's kind of bunny trailing off a little bit. But as far as for business, I think that's a little bit what I have to look at before I really get into anything, is what's worth it, what's not. As far as what, this might take too much time, this might, I don't know. So I would love to pursue other passions. Music would be one of them as of now, and some other things like that. So I don't know. I don't know where it will take me, but I'm very interested to listen back to this episode and see where we're at in probably about 2 years. That would be even a year, but
I agree.
you could have a few employees.
Yeah.
I could be doing more real estate stuff.
Yeah.
I will be. I mean, we'll be doing that triplex.
Yeah.
In about a year, it should be.
I think it'll be interesting in about a year because something that my cousin, shout out Taylor, good friend of ours,
Yep.
he videoed me back on the 4th of July.
Oh,
and
yes. I remember
this is
that.
really cool. I totally forgot about it. But he made a long video of the year of our youth group.
Yeah.
And of like the whole year. Pretty cool. And he, don't know why, but he asked me, he just came up and was interviewing me. We were ready to watch the fireworks. And he goes, where do you want to see your business at the end of the year or in 6 months, which was the same thing. And I said, I want to have a work vehicle.
Yep.
And I want to have an employee.
Mm-hmm.
And never thought about it at all. It comes the end of the year. Taylor, he comes up to me about a week or two ago, and he's like, hey, I just wanted to remind you that on that video, you said you wanted an employee and you wanted a work vehicle, and you got both of those now. And I never thought about it. And like, if that's not answered a prayer, I mean,
Oh,
for
absolutely.
sure. I mean, and I didn't even technically ask for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't even have to.
You probably kind of forgot about it.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
crazy.
And all of a sudden, my old boss was like, hey, I'm selling my van. He was like, I'll give you a deal on it for sure. I was like, bet.
Yeah, bet.
I will take that.
In Jesus' name, bet.
Yes.
Thank you.
Literally, yeah, I don't know.
That's super cool.
So cool. And so, yeah, I don't know where this will go, but my employee, he's at Bible school right now for 6 weeks. He comes back about right when we leave for Honduras. So
Okay,
he said that if there's work, he'll work for me during that time.
Perfect.
That's a really good bonus, I guess, too, is if he can work on his, by himself,
that'll
he
help
can
you
make me
out.
money.
For sure.
So shout out you, Bryson, make me money. But
Yeah.
no,
No,
we're
that's-
good friends. And I don't know. I'm just blessed, honestly. I am very blessed with what we're doing. And I think
Absolutely.
also contentment, we talked a little bit about that. I'm very content with where I'm at, but it doesn't mean I'm stopping.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Always I'm very content with where I'm at. I'm, doing very well. Just pretty much all aspects of life. Life's good.
Yeah.
So don't take it for granted.
Absolutely.
Sounds like everyone says it, but literally, like, do not take it for granted. So,
Yeah. And one thing I wanted to wrap up with, and we can wrap this up after this, but one thing that my grandpa, Wayne here, so one thing he always says is always turn, and this is a biblical principle, but always turn 1 into 2, 2 into 4. Always, and that's kind of a businessy thing, kind of just general in life, but I think that's important to note as well in business is take 1, make 2, take 2, make 4, whatever. And I mean, not a greedy thing, especially we're talking a bit more business today, but do it. Like, and if God's behind it, He'll bless it.
Yeah,
and,
I was gonna say.
not to make you rich or whatever, but He wants what's best for you. He wants you to be blessed. He wants you to all those things. And so that's so important. That's really cool for you, like for me to see in you is God's behind all that. And some of the things, you're out of work and last second you get a job that lasts 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And by then you're probably, you have other jobs that are, you're filled then.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I mean, everyone probably kind of struggles with that when they start a business. It's like, getting work and everything. But yeah, that's super cool. So I think that's another thing in businesses. And one thing I like about real estate too is that something I can do while I'm working somewhere else.
Yep.
So yeah, just something I wanted to close with. I think that's a really cool principle that it's so simple, but it actually can help you make decisions, especially even for me, if I would like to get into something or continue to do the real estate. That's such a cool principle that you can use in every decision.
Oh, for sure.
So
I think an important thing to remember too is like, I think we've talked about this before, but asking God, like, if this is your will, let it be done. And
Yes.
obviously that's biblical,
Yep.
but and it can be small decisions, big decisions, but remembering that has been pretty big for me.
Yeah.
Because you can have a clear conscience then too, because you can take a step of faith, and if you are, I guess, fully surrendered, and this could go off for a while, so
Yeah.
we'll make sure to close it. But
Yeah.
the whole thing about if you are in God's will, and you take that leap of faith, and if that's in God's will, then
Absolutely.
then it will work. And if it's if it's not, then it won't. But I don't know. It's been really, really fun starting a business, and hopefully it answered any of your questions if you had any questions.
Yeah.
But it's been a fun episode. I really enjoyed this one.
For sure.
For sure.
And I had one other thing that came up.
Okay.
So this will be it. But and this might sound really cheesy. I don't know. I don't think it is. But,
Okay.
haven't really told a bunch of people about this, but I have two things actually.
Okay.
So my man, I don't know if I want to say that. Sure, why not? So I named I had to start an LLC to buy the houses, and I knew that this could be something I need to stay grounded. Like I knew that that's something I need to make sure I'm grounded, make sure I'm good to go, and so I named it Giano Ventures, and like no one have I told you this? Oh really? Okay. Interesting. I haven't told a lot of people.
Giano,
and I'm like, everyone's like, what's Giano? And it's kind of, I don't know, it's really cheesy, but I wanted to name it, and I wanted it to be a reminder because God is always number one.
Yo.
Venture. And so and what I did is after every property that I have bought or anything, and like I said, I'm not saying like, oh, I have all these properties. I really honestly don't. I'm just starting, but I walk on the land. I'm not like walking around it, but I pray and just give it to God. Just say, Lord, this is now your house. This is part of your kingdom. Have your way. Like do your will. But I dedicate, and I think I could do a better job of this just in everything. But every piece of property that I've had, I pray over that. Just say, Lord, this is yours now. This is part of what you're wanting to do here, and I want this to be a part of what your will is for that. So anyway, I just wanted to share that, like those little things, I think I know God sees, and I think
for sure,
some of the things that you did in your business has allowed you to stay busy and keep you afloat. And in the same way with real estate, I did really well with some of those houses, and it allowed me to buy the one more local here and fix it up. We did a lot of work into that one. So
yeah, and you never know, had they they might have flopped had you not prayed over them. That's something you'll never know.
Yeah,
probably.
Absolutely.
But, that's a really good thing. Yeah. Dedicating land or whatever you're at. If you buy, I remember I did when I bought my car, just my personal car.
Yeah.
I remember I prayed before buying it, and I was like, if this is the car you want, because I remember I was pretty anxious to get my first car.
Yep.
I want my car, and it was the first one that we looked for.
Yeah.
And I remember just praying. I slept on it. Next morning, I told Dad, "Let's buy it."
Yeah.
Because I remember it had been wrecked, and
and
I was like, I don't know. Dad knew more than me. I was like, is it gonna be? Is it gonna be okay?
Yep.
But I haven't had any problems with it. Transmission's still good. I don't know. It's a Honda Civic, so shout out
you can't
Honda.
go wrong there.
No.
So yeah.
Yeah.
That's super cool. Well, yeah, I think that was a really wholesome episode.
For sure. I really enjoyed it. Nice. Two thumbs up.
Nice. So anyway, well, I think that's all that we have today. Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully that was interesting to you if you're thinking of starting one. Obviously, I haven't really started one technically per se, but I've had some experience with that, and obviously you have. So, yeah. Anyway, we are on Spotify. We are on
Apple Podcasts,
Anchor. Most people don't listen to that on that.
I think 1% do.
1%.
So maybe one
probably
person.
Me.
Yeah,
when I upload it.
There you go.
And then also we have YouTube. We just started that as well, and then we have Instagram as well. So if you could follow us on that'd be great. If you like our content, please comment.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
We're looking to do some Q&As.
Yeah.
We would love to have enough comments to even, we possibly could even live stream something
Yep.
down the road, but we'd love to see comments, see what you guys think about it. So.
And yeah, what'd you think of this more like interview style?
Yeah.
I don't know. I liked it.
Yeah.
I didn't know if I would, to be honest, but yeah, I did. I really liked it. So yeah, leave a comment or whatever you want to do. Like and subscribe if you want to.
Oh, only if you want to.
Only if you want to. We're not going to pressure
Please
you.
do. Please do.
No.
Oh, yeah. Well, anyway, we'll see you in the next episode. Welcome back to another episode of Our Perspective. Today, we are with Brevin and Randall, of course.
Yeah, of course.
I'll start this over again.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay. I should have said that.
I'm going to keep that in at the end of the episode. We should put that's a blooper.
Oh, that's perfect, yeah.